Your name and country from which you come from.
My name is Catherine Omogome Eledes. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. So in order to like lessen this, just say your name. Just stand up and say, my name is. Just say Catherine, Nigeria, but your full name. So we'll try this again. Yes, sir. Say your new name. Your new name. That's a good question, though. And sir, at the end, if it's difficult for you to stand, you don't have to stand. You can do it from your seated position. You're welcome. So you will. Okay, we'll try this. Please stand and say your name and the country from which you come from.
My name is Catherine. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. Just say your. Let me see your certificate.
Well, did you give an example?
Yes, I'm going to give
You just talking? Here, come on.
We'll give you an example. Okay. So I'm going to say, please stand and say the. Stand and say your name and the country from which you come from.
Gretchen Wells, United States of America.
And then you sit down.
You're on YouTube. You have to
Yes.
be lively and smile and really loud.
Yes. So we're going to try this again. Please stand and say your name and the country from which you come from.
Catherine Hernandez. I'm from Nigeria.
Yeah.
All right.
Elizabeth Maura from Kenya.
Con gusto, señor.
Carolina Borges, Venezuela. Victoria Lucidio from Kenya.
All right. Does everyone get the idea? We can do all 70. So after the judge introduces all of you, he will administer the oath of allegiance. For the oath of allegiance, there'll be a court clerk. She'll come up, have you all raise your hands, and she'll say it line by line. You have it in your pamphlets. You don't have to memorize it. And the oath of allegiance is the most important part of the ceremony, in which you give up loyalty and allegiance to your former country, and you swear allegiance to the United States. The officers in here will be watching to make sure you're saying the oath of allegiance. You're just not standing there with your lips not moving. If we see an individual that's not taking the oath of allegiance, after the ceremony is all completely over, we'll pull you aside to have you do it again with us. If you have an interpreter along with you, please make sure the interpreter translates everything that's going on throughout this entire ceremony process so they understand what's going on. After the oath of allegiance has been administered, the judge will have a few words, and then court will be adjourned. After the court is over, at that point, you guys are all new naturalized U.S. citizens. So let me be the first to congratulate you, because everyone here that's going through this process has gone through a similar tract in which they've gone from a non-immigrant to an immigrant to finally a naturalized U.S. citizen. So congratulations to all you. So after the ceremony, as naturalized U.S. citizens, there's some things in which you can do that I want to make you aware of. With our agency, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, after today, you can petition for family members that are overseas. You can petition for your spouse. You can petition for your children. You can petition for your brothers and sisters, and you can petition for your parents. What you'll do is you'll have to file a form I-130, Petition of Alien Relative, that can be found at our website, www.uscis.gov. You fill that out, the consular process overseas, and then enter the United States as a green card holder. Also, once you naturalize today, if you have children that are under 18 years that are green card holders that are inside your house, they will become citizens today after you naturalize. What you will have to do is file what's called a Form N-600. Form N-600, which can also be found at our website, uscis.gov. After you file the N-600 and send it to wherever the instructions on the form tell you to mail it to, you will receive a letter in the mail telling you to come to the Kansas City field office and pick up a certificate of citizenship for your child. Outside of our agency, there's some things in which you'll need to do. With the Department of State, for example, you're going to have to file to obtain a U.S. passport with them. What you're going to have to do is, in some of the paperwork which we provided you, is an application for a passport. You have to go to like CVS, Walgreens, someplace where they take passport photos, get 2 passport photos, file the application along with a check or however they want you to pay for the application. You'll mail your certificate of naturalization along with the application. Then they'll send you a new U.S. passport along with your certificate of naturalization back. Another thing in which we'll have to do after today or today, whenever, is get with the Social Security Administration and update your Social Security Administration information to show that you're no longer a lawfully admitted permanent resident, but are now a U.S. citizen. Another thing in which you'll need to do is register to vote if you want to partake in the elections that we have. Does anyone have any questions about any of that information? Bueller? You know what we're doing when I introduce you? All right, perfect. No questions? No. Anduk squad? So there's some links on your program you can take a picture of, and they'll provide you with more information about some of the stuff in which we covered. Hang tight. The judge will be here shortly.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here with you on this windy, cold, rainy day. Very important day in your lives, and a very important day in our life as well. My name is Julie Robinson. I'm a senior United States District Judge here in Kansas. Senior just means that I'm at retirement age, but I choose to continue to work. The work that we federal judges do sometimes is sad, sometimes is stressful, sometimes is unhappy, but among the things that we do, this is the happiest thing. And we take turns presiding over naturalization ceremonies because we all enjoy it so much, because it is such a happy time for us as well. We here in the District of Kansas, our federal district, we have 3 courthouses. One here, this one in Kansas City, one in Topeka, one in Wichita. These are public buildings. Our proceedings are public. Our jury trials and hearings are public. Feel free to come and watch anytime. And on behalf of all of the judges of this court and our staff, I welcome you to this courthouse and wish you our congratulations for what is about to happen here shortly today. All right, I will call on Mr. Gil Mullen, the naturalization examiner. Yes.
Your Honor, this morning I would like to introduce 70 applicants for United States citizenship. These applicants come from 36 different countries. They have met all the formal requirements for United States citizenship. Upon taking the oath of allegiance, each will have the rights, the privileges, and the responsibility of United States citizenship. Please stand and say your name and the country from which you come.
I'm from Nigeria.
I'm Elizabeth Mora from Kenya.
I am Patricia Brown, Jamaica.
Venezuela.
I am Carolina Borges, Venezuela. Victoria Luchitio, Kenya.
Sarah Al-Rifai, Syria.
Arahel, France.
Supreet Gadiok, India.
Pablo Lopez, Mexico. Osama Rabahe from Jordan.
Stefan Disorder from India.
Raúl Ramírez, México.
Telma Linares and Michael El Salvador.
My name is Helton Linares. I'm from El Salvador.
Farouk from Pakistan.
Herrera from Mexico.
And this, Your Honor, is our class of applicants for this morning. At this time, the government moves that the oath of allegiance be administered to the prospective citizens of the United States and that all petitions for change of name be granted.
All right, I am happy to grant those motions, and I'll ask all of you to stand. Yes, stand as you're able and raise your right hand for the oath of citizenship.
Please repeat after me. I state your name. Hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God.
All right, remain standing for the presentation of colors and Pledge of Allegiance.
Present colors. Please join me in our pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Watercolor. Right space. Forward march.
All right, you can be seated. And I'll start by saying congratulations to America's 70 newest citizens. Now, I think at this moment you are America's 70 newest citizens, although I suspect that across the country today in federal courthouses, perhaps other places as well, people such as yourselves are being administered the oath of citizenship and becoming new citizens as well. But the important thing about American citizenship is it does not matter whether you've been a citizen for 30 seconds or for 30 years or since birth. It does not matter whether you are a first-generation American or a 12th-generation American or an American whose family was already here as indigenous people before the first people from Europe arrived. It does not matter whether your background is immigrants who came to the United States voluntarily, or immigrants that came to the United States, as my family did, involuntarily. It doesn't matter. We all have the same rights and privileges. We all have the same duties and responsibilities of American citizenship. And importantly, when people such as yourselves have worked so hard for American citizenship, have waited so long, have taken a very rigorous examination, have done all of the work that you have done to enjoy the privilege of being an American citizen, when people such as you have gone through all of that, our country is made stronger and better by your being American citizens. You have earned American citizenship. You have proven how important it is to you. You are special in the sense that you've worked hard for it, unlike people that are just born on these shores. And we need you. We need your intelligence. We need your voice. We need your experience. We need your diversity in culture, experience of life, experiences here in the United States. We need all of that so that the United States can continue to grow, evolve, improve, and become a more perfect union, which is what our founders aspired for this country, that it become a more perfect union. We are a union of imperfect people. Every one of us is flawed and imperfect, and therefore this country cannot be perfect. But we can continue to work together and aspire together to become more perfect through treating each other with kindness, through appreciating our differences and our commonalities as well, through engaging in the work of being an American citizen. You've already engaged in that work. But I encourage you to continue to engage in that work by perhaps running for public office or working with those who share your views and who are running for public office, by working in community service, by showing up at city council meetings and legislative hearings and any issues that you're concerned about that affect you and that you think someone needs to hear your views and your voice, by exercising your right to have your voice heard. I encourage you to do all of those things because those are responsibilities of citizenship, and it's so important to this country that we all engage in our responsibilities of citizenship. One of the responsibilities of citizenship is serving on juries. So I may see you again. You may get a summons for jury service, and I encourage you to be happy about it. Sometimes people are not happy about it, but oftentimes when they come and they serve on a jury, they're happy they did so because they learned a lot, but more importantly, they served their fellow persons in deciding an issue that needed to be decided by a jury of someone's peers. Now, on the back of your program is some important information. Before COVID, when we were able to safely do more, we would have voter registration on site here. We don't today, but there is a QVC code that if you use that, it will guide you and lead you to register as voters, and I strongly encourage all of you to register to vote and to vote in every election, local, state, and national. Your voices are important. Your views are important. We're all benefited by people that vote and engage in our political process in that way. There's other information available on the back of the program as well. I'd like to thank and recognize the Sons of the American Revolution. They're the ones that presented the flag and led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. They're here for every naturalization ceremony. They are people that are proud of the fact that their ancestors, their families were here during the American Revolution. But it's so important to them, the citizenship, the growth of this country, that they are gladly and happily here, and they volunteer their service at every naturalization ceremony. They understand as well as anybody how important it is for us to embrace people that desire and work towards citizenship. Also downstairs are the Daughters of the American Revolution. They're here also every naturalization. they've prepared some treats for you to enjoy along with your friends and family who are here with you today. I'll be there as well. After this ceremony's over, we'll all go downstairs to room 180, and that's where the reception will be. The Sons of American Revolution are there in their beautiful uniforms if you'd like to take photos with them. I'll there in my beautiful robe if you'd like to take photos with me, and I'm happy to greet all of you and your family and friends as well. Also, and this hasn't happened before, but there's actually some representatives of the Federal Bureau of Investigation down there. They want to tell you about job opportunities. And that's one way, of course, of serving, and that is, through public service by actually being employed in one of many federal agencies that offer job opportunities and interesting work. So if you have questions or you're at all interested, they're there to greet you as well. So, Mr. Mullen, thank you to the immigration folks and to you in particular for being here today. We appreciate all the work that you all do to make this happen. And I think we can now adjourn court, and we'll see you downstairs here shortly. All right?
All rise. Court stands in recess.